Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This video today is going to be all about electrolytes. Now, I am not any kind of a medical professional or doctor. I'm not going to be able to tell you all the things electrolytes do in your body and why they're all important. I'll try to find some resources to link down in the description below for those of you that are interested in delving more into that side of things. But in this video, what I want to do is share my own personal experience with adding electrolytes to my life, as well as give you a DIY super cheap recipe for an electrolyte mix, and also talk to you about why I still purchase the expensive electrolytes rather than making the cheap mix myself. And then at the end, I'll go over the different brands of electrolytes that I've tried and my thoughts on them and suggestions. So first off, my experience with adding electrolytes to my life. A few years ago, I started learning about the importance of electrolytes in your diet and the importance of balancing them, especially when you're on a low carb diet. And I was convinced that that was something good that I needed to look into and try. So of course, because I tend to try to be a bargain shopper and try to do things as cheaply as possible, I looked for a DIY recipe and I found one, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in a little bit. I mixed it up and made an attempt to drink it on a daily basis, but because it was basically like drinking salt water and I didn't enjoy it very much, I wasn't consistent with it. I'm not one that really likes salty food, and I think drinking salt water is awful. So I attempted it, I gave it a try, but in the end I found I wasn't consistent enough with it, and because I hadn't been consistent with it, I didn't see the benefits of it. And because I didn't see the benefits of it, I wasn't motivated to be consistent with it. So I was kind of stuck in this loop here. And that is when I decided to go ahead and order Redmond Real Salt electrolytes. I went back and looked at my order history because I wanted to know exactly when I started. And my first order was at the end of May last year. So in a few months here, I'll be coming up on my 1-year electrolyte anniversary, which will be very exciting. So I just decided that since I was unsuccessful with adding in the unflavored homemade mixed electrolytes, that I would just attempt the flavor to see if I could more easily make it a daily part of my routine. And what I found as far as making it a daily part of my routine is that I loved them. The flavor was incredible to me. I looked forward to having it. I looked forward to just sipping on it throughout the day. And it made it really, really easy for me to stick to taking them every day. And once I did start taking them every day and being consistent with it, that is when I saw incredible benefits. Real quick, I'll just go over the symptoms that I had that I feel like the electrolytes either resolved or were a big piece of resolving. The first one, and this one I contribute 100% to the electrolytes, is not having to get up to pee at night all the time anymore. I used to wake up 2, 3, sometimes 4 times at night, just having to go to the bathroom, which of course is annoying, which of course messes up your sleep, which of course makes your life harder in so many ways. And when I started taking electrolytes consistently, it probably took a couple weeks to really see a massive change. So for the last about 9 months, I pretty much sleep through the night every night. I go to bed typically around 10 p.m. I sleep until 5 or 6 in the morning, and I don't get up to go to the bathroom at all. That has been one of the biggest benefits that I have seen from taking electrolytes. Next symptom, and this one I also attribute resolving to electrolytes 100%, and that is heart palpitations. I started getting heart palpitations off and on probably 7 years ago. I noticed it first when I was starting to lose some baby weight, and I made the connection that when I was successfully losing weight, I was getting heart palpitations. And they would sometimes last for days, sometimes last for weeks. They'd sometimes go away for months and then they'd come back. But very consistently, I found whenever I was losing weight, I was getting these heart palpitations. And at the time, I did not connect it to electrolytes. Looking back on it, I'm like, of course, duh, electrolytes. Because when you're losing weight, your body is rebalancing all kinds of things. And I needed electrolytes at that point. I needed my electrolytes balanced. And like I said, I'm not one to really heavily salt my food. So I was probably getting way too few electrolytes, way too little sodium. And all of that was contributing to these heart palpitations. So since I started taking electrolytes the end of May last year, I was eating my regular diet for over the summer, and then I started attempting to lose weight in September and October of last year, and I detailed all of that in my Wellness Wednesday videos. And over the end of last year, I successfully lost 15 pounds. And during that time of weight loss, not a single heart palpitation. So I had noticed for sure that they were connected to weight loss before, but since I have gotten myself consistently on electrolytes every day, I did not experience any while I was losing weight. And honestly, I haven't experienced any since I've consistently been taking electrolytes. The next thing that I feel like electrolytes helped me with is getting my appetite under control. I have been a person with a large appetite for as long as I can remember. Just always not feeling completely satisfied, always feeling like a bottomless pit, like I could always eat more. And over the past year, I have found complete appetite correction, and I attribute it to mainly two things. One of them being my electrolytes getting balanced, and the other one is increasing protein in my diet. And since I have done those things, I feel like my appetite is normal again. Like I feel hungry when I'm hungry, I eat, I feel full, I feel satisfied, I feel done. And for somebody who went a lot of years without ever feeling that, it is an incredible experience. And because I got my appetite corrected through doing those things, once I was ready to start trying to lose weight and implementing some weight loss strategies, I felt like it was effortless. With my electrolytes being balanced and with me getting sufficient protein, once I reduced my fat intake to reduce my calories enough to let my body burn off some excess fat, my body was like, okay, let's do this. I did not have to fight my body to do what it's supposed to do, burning excess fat on my body. And also for someone who has struggled to lose weight their entire life, that is an incredible feeling. I will throw in here real quick too that one other thing that I think contributed to my effortless weight loss, or the weight actually coming off when I tried to lose weight, was cutting out dairy. I found for me that that was a big thing, and I just want to throw that in there. Electrolytes, sufficient protein, cutting out dairy, those were the keys for me. So that is my experience with adding electrolytes, and I am in no way saying that any of you will have the same experience I had. Everyone's electrolyte balance is going to be different, and we're going to need different things, maybe different amounts of different electrolytes. It's important to find balance, whatever that means for your individual situation. But I receive value from hearing other people's experiences and getting ideas, so I hope that sharing my experience is helpful for you. Now let's move down to the counter and put together the DIY electrolyte mix. I have gotten a lot of comments from people who are frustrated that they can't afford the pre-mixed electrolytes. And so I hope this will be a good option for you if your budget is tight. This recipe for electrolyte mix comes from Cole Robinson of the Snake Diet. They call it snake juice in the diet. I've never done the diet. It's big on fasting, and so of course electrolytes are important there. But one thing I love about Cole Robinson and his diet is that he gives the recipe for the electrolytes. You can buy them from him as well, but I love that he offers the DIY recipe. There are just 4 simple ingredients: baking soda, Epsom salt, and you want to make sure that you get food grade Epsom salt, and potassium. You can get this potassium chloride. No Salt is made of potassium chloride, and it's pretty cheap and easy to find at most grocery stores. And then you're going to want some kind of an unrefined salt, either Pink Himalayan salt or, my preference, Redmond Real Salt. The amount I'm going to make here is enough to make 12 quarts of electrolyte drink. Of course, you can make it diluted or stronger if you want, according to your preference, but according to the recipe, it makes 12 quarts. So first thing is 1/4 cup of baking soda, 2 tablespoons of food grade Epsom salt, 1/4 cup of no salt potassium, and 2 tablespoons of unrefined salt. And then you just stir that up really good, and that's all there is to it. It's so simple. And the measurements are for 1 quart of water or 1 liter of water, use 1.5 teaspoons of the electrolyte mix. And of course you can, if you have a drink that you already like, Crystal Light or something like that, some kind of a flavored drink, you could add this to it. Of course, it's gonna make it salty, so it might be a little bit to get used to. But I did find when I started drinking the Redmond re-lyte that when I first tasted it, I thought, oh my goodness, this is so salty. And then I really, really quickly got used to it, and I don't find it salty anymore. I just find it super flavorful. So even if you don't love it when you first try it, maybe drink it a few more times and see if your body will just get used to it. All right, now I wanted to chat a little bit about why, if I have this super cheap electrolyte mix that I can make, why do I purchase the expensive electrolytes? And I kind of touched on this already as far as them giving me the motivation to actually continue to use them. I just found it extremely difficult to drink the salty electrolyte water on a regular basis. I didn't enjoy it. And if you've watched my Wellness Wednesday videos much, you've probably heard me talk about how important it is to me to look at all different aspects of health and not just nutritional health, as in the foods that I'm eating. I don't just look at them as the nutrients that they provide my body. I find enjoyment of food to be really, really important for my health, not necessarily my nutritional health, but for my mental health and for my social health and my emotional health. And when I find something that is really good for my body nutritionally, and it's really enjoyable and it's really good for my body mentally and emotionally, I think that's a win. Like, the more boxes I can tick on a food or a supplement that, that ticks those health boxes, the better, and the more excited I am about it, and the more I want to incorporate it into my diet. I recognize that it depends on where you are at and what your highest priorities are, and that's just going to depend on circumstances. So if the budget is tight and your highest priority is budget friendly, then hopefully this DIY electrolyte mix will give you a good option. For me, the money side of it is not the biggest priority. It's definitely there. I'm not made of money, but I am willing to pay a little bit extra for those extra things like the enjoyment. Like I talked about at the beginning, I had trouble getting consistent about taking the electrolytes when they were so unenjoyable. And because of that, I didn't see the results from them, and not seeing the results from them didn't give me the motivation to continue. But now at this point, since I have seen how drastically they have improved my health, if we were to fall on hard times all of a sudden and I wasn't able to afford more expensive electrolytes, I think my motivation would be high enough that I would figure out a way to get the DIY electrolyte mix in. But at this point, I'm very happy with the brands that I've been using, and I'm planning to continue as long as possible. And I do want to just throw in here real quick, I am also an influencer, and therefore I get sometimes free products, sometimes discounts. So all of these branded electrolytes that you see here, I either got for a discount or were sent to me for free by the company, but I was not paid to promote these products or given any money to make this video in any way. All of the opinions are my own. So the first brand I want to talk about is the Ketochow brand. And you guys know Ketochow is the meal replacement shakes with all kinds of flavors. Everybody loves those. But interestingly, all of their electrolytes and their minerals and different supplements that they offer are all completely sweetener and flavor free. So even though you go to them for all of your flavor needs for meal replacement shakes, they are the place to go to get unflavored electrolytes. And they actually have quite a few different options. Like I mentioned, everybody's different and everybody's electrolyte balance is going to be a little different. And the important thing is not just a certain number of milligrams of something for everyone, but that your individual system is balanced. And so some people might not see benefit from certain formulations, and they may need to, try different ones in order to find one that works for the balance in your body. And what I love about Ketochow is that they offer a lot of different options. So they have just the basic electrolyte drops, And I'm not going to go over all of the different milligram amounts of everything. You can compare those on their websites. I will have everything linked down below for you. But on the side of their box here, for their 3 main like electrolyte drops or supplements, they show you the different amounts of different things in them. So that is super helpful, and you can find this on their website. They also have great instructions on how to use everything exactly. And I'll show you here that it comes with a refill bottle, but then it also comes with this cute little bottle that you can fill up. And I love that you could throw this in your purse, carry it with you, and use it whenever you need to. So the fasting drops are similar, but they're a little bit different. They have more salt. When you're fasting, you definitely want to get in salt. So you can see there the amount of salt versus in the other ones. Then there's also the magnesium drops, and you can see the amount of magnesium in those compared to in the other ones. It's just a different balance. Another product that they offer that's really cool is the Daily Minerals, and it has a picture of Dr. Berry on it, so you know it's going to be a great product. But this, it has the electrolytes in it, but it also has lots and lots of other things, important minerals. It has boron, copper, iodine, chromium, zinc, manganese, selenium. There's just lots of minerals, and our soil and water are so devoid of minerals these days that it is a great idea to add a mineral supplement into your diet. It would be wonderful if we could get everything we need from the foods that we eat and the water that we drink, but unfortunately that's not the world we live in anymore. And so some kind of a mineral supplement like this is a great idea. And this is the big refill Daily Minerals, but then they have the little Daily Minerals dropper, and a tablespoon, I believe, is the serving size on this. So 1 tablespoon on that. But I love that you can throw this into your purse, you can travel with it, and you don't have to drag your giant jug of Daily Minerals with you. All right, now on to talking about flavors. But first I will mention that both Redmond Re-lyte and Perfect Keto have some unflavored options. Redmond Real Salt has an unflavored powder that you can buy. They also have capsules, and they have 4 different formulations of capsules with different additives, some for energy, some for muscle recovery, some that are just salt. If you want to just up your salt in your diet, you can get salt capsules. But if you're looking for unflavored electrolytes, they do have an option. And Perfect Keto also has an option for unflavored, and they are capsules, not powder. So Redmond Real-lyte, they'll always be my OG, my fave. They changed my life. They win the prize for the most options. They have their basic electrolyte mix, and they have, I forget how many flavors, like 6 flavors maybe of their basic re-lyte electrolyte mix. I have tried every single flavor, and they're all fantastic. My favorite probably is strawberry lemonade, but I mean, give me any of them and I'll be happy. And you can buy that mix in the tubs that are, what is it, 60 serving tubs, and that's the cheaper way to do it. But it is very nice to have the packets on the go. They sell those as well in all the different flavors. And it's kind of cool. You can buy a pack of just like 1 of each flavor, and then you're able to try out the different flavors to find out what you like before buying a big tub. So I love that. And these are great for travel and throwing into your purse. Then they also have a few other options like the re-lyte immunity. So this is gonna have the electrolytes in it, but then it's also gonna have some immune boosting things like vitamin C, ginger, turmeric, elderberry, stuff like that. That's good for immunity, which is great for cold and flu season. And then the other product that they came out with not too long ago is the re-lyte Boost. And this one is for like energy. And so it's great like in the afternoon if you tend to have an afternoon slump. It's great to have a serving of re-lyte Boost, because the electrolytes themselves will help with energy if you're low on electrolytes. But then also there's some green tea, caffeine in here, maca, ashwagandha, rhodiola, just good stuff for brain function and just to get you going. My husband really likes to have this. He kind of tends to have those slumps in the afternoon, and so he's been enjoying adding the re-lyte Boost to his life. I'm a coffee drinker, so I don't typically need a caffeine pick-me-up besides that. but my husband is not a coffee drinker and he loves it. Now onto the most recent brand that I have tried of electrolytes. This is the Perfect Keto brand, and they reached out to me and offered to send me some of their products to try. And honestly, I felt like I was stepping out on Redmond because I had been so dedicated. They had changed my life, and now I was going off trying a different electrolyte. It felt terrible, but I've worked through that and I think Redmond's okay with it. They have 4 flavors: cherry, lemon lime, pink lemonade, and also watermelon. And I was very pleasantly surprised with the flavor of these. I didn't think I'd like anything as much as the Redmond, but I had wanted a cherry flavored electrolyte for a long time. I love cherry flavor, but Redmond hasn't done it yet. So I was so excited that they had a black cherry flavor, and I absolutely love it. And one thing about this brand is that it doesn't taste as salty as the Redmond re-lyte. And I have come to where I really like the saltiness of the Redmond, but I know some people that's a turnoff for them. And so if that's you, I highly recommend checking out the Perfect Keto. The flavor is great and it's just got a little bit less of that saltiness to it. The other different thing about the Perfect Keto brand is that it has some added vitamin D in it. And vitamin D is fantastic, and I think that's great that they added it in there. So as far as how much I take in a day, I will usually do 4 servings. And actually what I found since I started playing with the Perfect Keto electrolyte mix, my absolute favorite flavor combination. You guys who have watched me for a while probably know that I like variety and I like options. I'm the kind of person that if I find a shirt that I like, I go and I buy it in every single color possible. And I'm exactly the same way with my electrolyte flavors. I love all of the variety and all of the options, and I love combining them for even more options. And my absolute favorite right now is a combination of the black cherry Perfect Keto electrolytes and the lemon lime re-lyte. It gives you like the best of both flavors because they're both so different, but when you combine them, you get like the best of both of them, and I am so addicted. It's so good. I just love having those little things in my day that I enjoy so much. It just adds joy to my life. I have affiliate links and codes for all 3 of the brands that I've shown you here today, so check the description for all of those. I recommend all of them. You can't go wrong by ordering any of these. And like I mentioned, we all need different balances of different things. So if you try one of these and it doesn't work out for you, try a different one. Try one that has a little bit different of a formulation and just find what works for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and chatting about electrolytes. I hope you guys are all doing great, and I will see you again in another video.